To this explainer. We're jumping straight into something truly fascinating today. We're going to completely deconstruct the raw metadata of a single web page to understand a massively popular yet honestly kind of overlooked internet subculture. We aren't actually going to watch the content itself. Instead, we're doing a digital autopsy on the data wrapped around it. By digging into the numbers, the descriptions, and the algorithms, we can uncover exactly how digital fear is manufactured, packaged, and then consumed by millions of people. Okay, let's dive right in. Right off the bat, we're hit with this staggering number, 2,781,491. That is the view count on a single upload titled 5 Horrific True School Lockdown Stories. I mean, just think about that scale for a second. That's essentially the entire population of a major city, all tuning in to listen to real-life, terrifying accounts of schools going into lockdown. It's an absolutely massive audience for a very specific, and let's face it, very dark niche of content. And here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just some random one-off viral hit. The title literally says Volume 5. That proves there is a relentless, proven audience appetite for this specific brand of fear. The creator knows the demand for these stories isn't just a passing trend, it's a recurring hunger. Viewers aren't clicking out of morbid curiosity just once. No, they're coming back for volume after volume. Behind all these massive view counts is a creator named Mr. Nightmare. He's basically an architect of anxiety who has amassed an astonishing 7 million subscribers. Over 7 million people have actively opted in to have these terrifying, curated accounts delivered right to their feeds. He's built an entire digital empire entirely on the foundation of shared human dread. So you might be wondering, how exactly does an operation this massive sustain itself? Well, that brings us to Section 1, Rules of the Nightmare, and specifically, sourcing the fear. A quick glance at the description text reveals the secret engine driving this whole channel. It reads, if you want to send a personal, true story of yours, please send it through email. This channel's lifeblood is entirely crowdsourced trauma. The creator doesn't have to sit in a dark room writing fiction, right? He actively asks his viewers to submit their own deeply unsettling survival stories. It's this wild, self-sustaining loop where the audience actually provides the very terror they're tuning in to consume. But the creator has surprisingly strict administrative demands. Basically, your horrific, potentially life-threatening real-life school lockdown story is going to be immediately rejected if you forget to use a comma or have poor sentence structure. The sheer pragmatism here is just striking. It really highlights that, at the end of the day, this is a production. The stories have to be neat and understandable because they need to be read aloud smoothly to keep up the channel's high-quality audio pacing. It creates such a fascinating juxtaposition. Right below that strict grammar warning, the creator asks, please also state how you would like your name to be credited in a video. We're looking at the management of deeply personal, highly traumatic accounts happening right alongside the mundane, formal rules of digital publishing and attribution. It's literally a highly organized bureaucracy of fear. All right, moving on to Section 2, Anatomy of the Stories and Pacing Material. So how are these polished stories actually delivered to the audience? Let's check out the key moments metadata to see exactly how this 25-minute digital artifact is paced to keep you hooked. These timestamps plot a crystal clear narrative rhythm. At roughly the 8-minute mark, we get a story by Keith. Then at 10:51, we hear from Jackson MacArthur. The audience is grounded by real names, right? You feel a sense of connection to these survivors. But then, right at the 14.5-minute mark, the tone completely shifts to an eerie, unnamed, anonymous account. The creator is expert in piecing the dreadful, using the metadata to pull the audience from verifiable reality straight into the unsettling unknown, right at the exact moment their attention might start to wander. This structure basically transforms the upload into a digital anthology. It's not one long, meandering 25-minute story. It's a collection of discrete 3 to 5 minute accounts presented back to back. This ensures the audience gets rapid-fire, distinct bursts of horror. Think about it. If one story doesn't scare you, the next one is just a few minutes away. It's a highly optimized format built specifically to maintain maximum viewer retention. Which leads us to Section 3, the ecosystem. Let's talk about the algorithm of fear. You see, Mr. Nightmare doesn't exist in a vacuum. To really get a grip on this phenomenon, we have to look outward. If we check out the recommendation sidebar, we uncover a sprawling, multi-million view economy spread across various creators and some bizarrely specific topics. We've got a video about dating nightmares sitting at 3.8 million views. There's another on unsolved Reddit mysteries with 1.7 million. and An Internet Mystery by Nick Crowley with 1.2 million views. This proves the appetite for digital dread isn't just limited to school lockdowns. It's a massive, fully diversified industry. We can also spot a very clear, ruthless hierarchy within the specific school lockdown niche itself. You've got Mr. Nightmare reigning at the absolute top, with an older video sitting at 9.4 million views. Then you've got your mid-tier channels like Nighttime Spooks at 214,000 views, and down at the very bottom, new creators like Hussy Extra are trying to break into the ecosystem, registering a mere 130 views. It's obvious the algorithm heavily rewards the established kingmakers of the genre. So the absolutely crucial point here is that YouTube's algorithm actually clusters these strangely diverse digital fears together. If you watch a true school lockdown story, the system calculates your viewing habits and just assumes you also want to hear about paranormal police encounters, or terrifying skinwalkers, or unsolved Appalachian mysteries. The algorithm is essentially mapping out a web of modern anxieties, constantly serving you the very next adjacent fear. And the lengths of these recommended videos? Equally staggering. We're seeing sidebar suggestions for 1-hour compilations, and even a massive 3 hours of true high school and college horror stories. This tells us something vital about the audience. They aren't just casually snacking on these stories for a quick thrill. They are settling in. They're using these multi-hour compilations of dread perhaps as background noise, or maybe a strangely cozy marathon coping mechanism. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly compelling question. We've seen the data, we've looked at the strict grammar rules, the millions of views, and the sprawling algorithmic ecosystem. But what is it about human psychology that turns crowdsourced, grammatically correct tales of terror into a multi-million view entertainment empire? Why do we voluntarily spend hours listening to the worst days of other people's lives? I'm going to leave you to ponder that. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and always keep questioning.